What's up, greatness? I am. What's up, Miss Sophisticated? I am Rocket Man. All right, we about to go ahead and get into this thing, everybody. Welcome to the DC Now events, Small Business Takeover with ArtBae Online. I am Kerry Michael, and I am the CEO of ArtBae. All right, a couple of housekeeping things. Feel free. What's up, Diversifies? Feel free to ask questions. If you have any questions you might want to ask me, feel free to drop them in the Q&A icon located in the lower left as you're watching the live stream. All right, if you post it in the comments, I might not see it. So make sure you hit that icon before you ask a question, all right? So again, I am Kerry Michael. I'm the founder of ArtBae Online. And so what ArtBae is it stands for Art Before Anything Else. We are an arts collective, and what we do is we encourage people to live their purpose through their passion. So whatever your passion might be, it might be in modeling, it might be in teaching, education. If you put that passion or their art before anything else, your life will be a lot more rewarding. It'll be a lot more successful. All right. And so we receive grants and we receive funding, and we have partnerships and things of that nature to give back. So we're all about arts, entertainment, and education with a passion for advocacy. And what that means is that we go back into the community and we use this money that we get from grants or funding to put on these dope art experience, art shows. We also have done murals in the community and stuff like that, especially during this time where we have so much going on with the pandemic, Black Lives Matter. So we try to illustrate and just try to get people to be encouraged by our creativity. And so that's a little bit about what we do. So make sure you check us out. I've pinned the IG into the comments. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. A little bit about myself. So again, I am Kerry Michael. I'm the founder of ArtBae. I'm a Southern boy, so I might have a little twang if you can't understand me. That's because I'm from Alabama, Mobile, Alabama to be exact. My accent has not left. I went to undergrad at Florida A&M University, went to school for fine arts and graphic design. Been in the DMV for 8 years after I went to Savannah for grad school. I work at the Patent and Trademark Office. So I work in designs at the Patent and Trademark Office. So if anybody has a specific like design or like an app that they want to get protection over, protection for your inventions and designs is very important. Make sure you holler at me. I'm a design patent examiner, and I'm also the CEO of ArtBae. And so that's kind of like I'm a full-time employee and also a full-time entrepreneur is what I call it. Oh, that's what's up. The one Renita, Mobile, Alabama. I probably know him because the area is pretty small and a lot of people know everybody. So yeah, you might have to drop his name. I might have to see if I know him or if he's related to me or something like that. But as the CEO of ArtBae, I've been fortunate to receive a lot of grants, specifically with the DC Commission of the Arts and Humanities. They're like a big advocate for the arts in the area, and they give you money and funding anywhere from like $1,000 to $10,000 or more just for being an artist or an entrepreneur or somebody in the form of humanities. They give you money just for being, in that area of expertise and just for living in the DMV. So it's free money that you can get your hands on. So I'm not a professor, I'm not a teacher, I'm not an expert or anything like that. All right. So I don't want you all to, feel like this is Bible. What I'm teaching you is not Bible. Oh, appreciate the shout out about the Prince artwork. It's on my page as well. If you want a print of it, I'll shoot you that info as well later on. But I received some grants from the DC Commission of the Arts, and all you got to do is have a crazy, dope idea. You put that idea in front of a panel of judges. You have to pitch the idea to make them want to believe in it, and then they'll say yay or nay, And so no ideas are too crazy. So I don't want you to feel like, well, I'm scared to apply because they might not like my idea. I've had some outlandish, like ridiculous ideas that I thought, stuff came in my dreams. And like I put them out there on paper, pitched it, and they gave me my last grant was $8,200. So we're gonna use that money to have an event with ArtBae in the coming months. So make sure you follow our page so you can stay tuned when those events take place. Again, so I'm just gonna show you some strategies and some best kept formulas from an artist and an entrepreneurial perspective. So if you're not an artist, you're not an entrepreneur, I hope you can benefit and learn something, okay? So we're going to dive right into this thing. What's up, everybody? For those of you who are just joining, again, I am Kerry Michael. I'm the CEO of ArtBae, which is an arts collective that stands for art before anything else. And we're sitting here talking about how to secure grants and partnerships. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is reading and researching 101. So I'm going to dive into this. I got some notes and I got some wine. All right. I'm going to take a little sip. So if you're going to follow along with me, again, if you do have questions, make sure you hit the question icon at the bottom corner of the screen, and I will try to get to your questions when I see them. All right, so reading and researching. Reading is fundamental. We've all heard that since like elementary school, right? And researching is free. It's allowed, it's permitted. So a lot of people don't take the time to research their ideas to make sure that the ideas don't already exist, okay? So be sure to research whatever idea you're trying to present, whether it's an idea for an exhibit or a project or a program. Make sure you research, read the application rules thoroughly, okay? That's the simplest advice, but a lot of people don't follow it. You want to make sure you follow the details exactly, because a lot of times you'll end up applying for the grant and then they will vet you out the system. If you don't have the bare minimum specifications and qualifications, they'll just kick you right on out. Because think about it, you got like hundreds of people applying for some grants. They're going to try to do whatever they can do to kind of weed everybody out the system. Okay, so you also only want to provide what is requested and in the required format. If you do have questions about a grant, there's typically a grant counselor that you can contact and get a hold of. What's up, 5AB1N? How you doing? What's up, everybody who's joining? But make sure you contact your grant counselor if you have any specific questions. But make sure the questions that you ask aren't something that you can just read through the application and find out the answer to. All right, so don't waste their time, because then they'll remember that communication you had with them, and they'll be like, all right, this person can't follow simple directions. They're not going to be useful with the money that we offer them. So keep that in mind. All right, so research your funding sources. There's a couple of companies or organizations and agencies that issue funding for artists and entrepreneurs are the National Endowment of the Arts, the DC Commission of the Arts and Humanities. The Awesome Foundation is pretty dope. They issue grants every month up to like $1,000. But you have to make sure you package that pitch that you're giving them. You have to make sure it's pretty dope. All right. However, how awesome it is, they'll issue the funding based on how crazy and creative your idea is. So keep that in mind. Also, the Maryland State Arts Council is another good one. And then outside of the government agencies and the organizations, you want to think outside the box, because there are a lot of people, especially during the time with COVID, you have a lot of artists and small business relief grants that you can apply for. And a lot of those aren't really advertised. You might have to dig and do some researching on social media, or you might have to, research Google, go on a website. Also, some universities and colleges will offer grant opportunities, especially if you plan on partnering with some of those and some of those organizations and some of those universities. They just might support your movement and issue you some funding as well. So keep that in mind. All right, Jonathan. What's up, Trap Canvas? What's up, everybody else who's joining? Again, if you have questions, be sure to drop that in the comments box. I see someone had a question. Let me pull that up. What's the difference between a grant and a loan? So the difference between a grant and a loan is that a grant is pretty much free funding. All right, they give you that money and it's yours to use. You might have to keep a track record on what you're spending that money for and what you're using it on. However, and I'm going to go over a little bit about that later. The loan, the difference between a grant and a loan is the grant you don't have to pay back. That's your money. You just have to kind of take it and account for what you spend. The loan, you have to repay the loan. They might have different terms for the loan. You might have to pay it back in a matter of a couple months to a couple years. You might have to add interest on top of that. So if you can get your hands on a grant, I always go the grant route. What's up, Youth Leadership Foundation? What's up, everybody? But if you can get a loan and you're able to bounce back, if you're going to use that money towards something that might be lucrative, you might get that money right back and be able to pay that loan off before it accumulates any interest. So keep that in mind. Also, you want to see what other companies and agencies and individuals are doing that could potentially partner with you, and y'all can apply for the grant together. Also, research portfolios of other companies and other agencies who are doing similar to what you're doing. I always go to the website of an organization and I look at their press and I look to see who sponsored them. Because, like I said, reading is fundamental. Research is free. You're not stealing. You're just going to kind of, feel the vibe and see who sponsored these similar organizations who do what you do. And you can kind of reach out to them and see if they'll partner with you, or you could, they might have some grants as well. So keep that in mind. Also, again, everybody, we're talking about reading and researching 101. The topic of discussion is securing partnerships and grants. Okay, if you got any questions, feel free to put it in not the comments box, but click the question mark icon, all right? And then next thing, you want to determine your eligibility. All right, does your company have to be a small business or a large corporation? Does your business have to be incorporated, or do you have to be a nonprofit? A lot of those things really, really matter, and they have different specific loans for each. Can you apply for the grant as a business or as an individual? I know with ArtBae, I have to apply as an individual, all right, but I apply as an individual and I put all my information for my business there. Sometimes you have to have a matching requirement. So, and it kind of, for some grants, they feel like, okay, I'm not going to give out any money unless you have some money to put up first, all right? So you might have to put up $10,000 to get $10,000, or you might have to put up anywhere, or you might have to have other funding sources. Yeah, man, it's a lot of stuff, and then this is based on my research, based on me applying, and I just accumulated all these sources, and I'm here to share them with you. So again, if you have any specific questions, feel free to drop them into the question mark icon, so that I can answer them for you. And the last couple things, you want to find out, especially in this area, are the grants specific to DC, Maryland, and Virginia? Some grants, they only give out to DC residents. But make sure you read all of that so you won't waste your time. You don't want to finish a whole grant application just to find out that you're unqualified because you live in Maryland or you live on the outskirts. And also remember or check to make sure that the grants are or are not geared towards a specific type of artist or a specific type of entrepreneur. If so, don't waste your time applying, because there is a grant out there somewhere for each of the different disciplines. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, so that is the end of that segment. Next, we're going to talk about making the perfect pitch. All right, but before we do that, I do want to reiterate who I am. This is the DC Now Events Small Business Takeover. I am Kerry Michael, and I'm the CEO of ArtBae Online, which is an artist collective. What's up, everybody who's tuning in? Thank you for joining me. All right. And so we're going to talk about making the perfect pitch. All right. So you got this dope idea. You got to talk about who you are first. So as a creative, as a visual artist myself, we have to have an artist statement. All right, the artist statement has to be engaging. You have to pretty much make a narrative out of it. What's up, Art by KD? All right, that's my ArtBae member online right now. Shout you out real quick. All right, so your artist statement has to be engaging. You want to make it a narrative. Tell a story if you can, but you want to make it concise and do it in as few words as possible. All right, you don't want to sit up there and be like, all right, my name is Chris. I paint pictures. I use color. No, because that, you want to definitely tie your personality into your artist statement, okay? Because anybody can, it's obvious, we know who your name is. We know, you paint pictures, obviously. Tell a story, make it engaging. Put it in like a couple sentences, either 1 to 3 sentences. Tell people who you are, what you do, and how does your work benefit, or, what is it? Why is it that you do what you do? You know what I'm saying? You have to have some type of connection to the artwork or the product that you produce. All right. And how does the artist statement tie into your artwork? For a visual artist or any type of artist, you can't say you use vibrant color, but then all that you submit in the application materials are black and white prints. That's kind of you know, contradicting themselves. It's okay to switch up your style, but you have to make that clear in the artist statement. All right. If you want, some people have multiple artist statements, or some people kind of, you know, make the artist statement